This guy's a librarian. Screw you, I don't need two librarians for an example. Oh, come on. What? What you doing? Hey, what is up guys, Murderman4 here, back with another Minecraft video, and in today's video, I am going to be overviewing the next large Minecraft update, 1.8, which is dubbed the Bountiful update, which comes out on September the 2nd. This should be up on September the 1st. So, here I've compiled a whole bunch of information from the Minecraft Wiki. So the Minecraft Wiki is the source for everything that I have compiled in this video. So if you want to look into anything I cover in more detail, you can head over to Minecraft Wiki and it will be there. Now mind you, I will not be covering every single detail of this update in here. I will be covering most stuff, but there are a few really tiny stuff I didn't feel were significant enough to be added into a overview. So, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that, but I will be doing most of the stuff. All the big stuff is definitely going to be in here. And before I start, I actually want to just give a bit of trivia on the update, because I find this really amusing, honestly, how long it's been since the last major update. So this trivia also comes directly from Minecraft Wiki. So, this is the longest wait for a major update to Minecraft. So the last major update was 1.7, and that first came out October 25th, 2013, which was 310 days before this update is released officially on September 2nd. Before that, 1.3 had the previous longest wait, and that was only 153-day wait, so that was half the wait that we've had to endure for this update, between major updates. And it's also the longest development, as in like from first snapshot to last snapshot. It's been 234 days since Minecraft 1.8's first snapshot, and the previous longest snapshot range was 1.3 again, with 111 days between first and last snapshot. And finally, this update has the most snapshots to it, with 52 snapshots. The previous largest amount of snapshots for a single update was 18 with 1.6. That is a huge gap. So I just wanted to point that out. It's just some neat little trivia there. So, yeah, just kind of a fun little fact there. Alright, so here I have a couple of signs here. They're showing new stats and new settings / options. And sorry if you hear like mouse going in the background. I am also looking at the Minecraft Wiki page at the same time on the desktop computer, so I can get all the information correct and everything, just to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, so this pressure plate here tells all the new stats that are added into this update. So we have distance crouched, so when you're sneaking; distance sprinted, which is obviously when you're sprinting; the amount of time since your last death, how many times you've talked to villagers, and how many times you've traded with villagers. So if you go into your statistics, you'll see here, since last death, mine has been 4.28 minutes in the world. It doesn't count like when you're off the world. It's in world time. Distance crouched 1.2 kilometers, which is just over 1,000 blocks, I believe. Distance sprinted 2.21 kilometers, and then down here we have talked to villagers 20 times, traded with villagers 8 times. So that's neat. I like the new stats. We also have some new settings / options. When we go into options, we have some skin customization here, because now skins have a second layer. My skin doesn't have a second layer on it, but now all parts of your skin will be able to have something similar to the hat. As you can see, I've got a hat on, which is my crown. It's a separate layer, but for 1.8, Mojang added support to do that for all your body, and you can like turn everything off. So if I turn my hat off, I look really weird, but you can do that if you like, and it's per player. So if I have that off on a server, I won't be able to see anyone's hats, but people, if they still have the option on, they will be able to see my hats. Let's see, in video settings, I believe we have a couple of other things. Alternate blocks, use VBOs. I think commit map levels is new. Use VSync. I don't know what any of that stuff does, but it's there. We also have some new multiplayer settings, I believe. Reduced debug info, I don't know what that does either. That's new. And I think broadcast settings are also new. It allows you to connect to Twitch and broadcast. I think that's a new option. Not 100% sure though. But those are some new options you have in your Minecraft game. Next we have a new achievement, and I've got a picture of a enchanted golden apple here in an item frame. And the new achievement is actually crafting an enchanted golden apple, and the achievement is called Overpowered. And actually, what I'm showcasing off here is that you can actually now rotate items to 8 different rotations instead of the 4, which would be sideways and like up and downwards. Now you can do it in at diagonals as well, which I find pretty neat. So next, here we have some new crafting recipes for some older blocks. You can now craft mossy cobblestone, or moss stone as it's called, by putting vines and cobblestone in a crafting table. You can craft mossy stone bricks by, you guessed it, vines and stone bricks. You can get cracked stone bricks by smelting stone bricks, that's what the coal here signifies. And you can get chiseled stone bricks from putting 2 stone brick slabs in here. So there you have it, some new crafting recipes for some of the older blocks in the game. Next here, this is a neat new block. It's called the slime block, and it is crafted with 9 slime balls, just like this. And you get your slime block, and so I have some information here about it. It's bouncy, and it prevents fall damage, and walking on them is sneaking speed. So if you see, when I walk on it, I go about the same speed as I would sneaking. So, there you have that. And if I turn into survival, oops, not aim mode, I mean game mode. Oh, I didn't mean creative, I meant survival. If I click this button here, it'll bounce me on them. So as you can see, I can bounce really high. So the further you fall, the more the bounce will be. And as you saw, it did prevent fall damage. So that is some pretty cool stuff. I'll showcase these new blocks over here, and then I'll move on to that area. So we have 3 new types of stone. We've got granite, diorite, and andesite. So what these will do, they'll just spawn naturally in your world in patches about the size of gravel, I believe. Gravel or dirt. They'll be able to spawn in patches of that much. And so, yeah, so here's a bit of showcase. They just spawn naturally in caves, just as normal stone would, just in little patches. I personally think granite's really cool to add. I'm fine with granite. And diorite isn't too bad because, or andesite, sorry, isn't too bad because it's almost the same color as the stone. Oh, excuse me. But I think the diorite is really out of place. It just doesn't look good in my opinion. Especially when it's in huge patches like it is down here. It's got, whoa, hello, witches and a half. Like huge patches like this. I just think it looks horrid. I really don't like it. But you can have your opinion on it. You might like it. You might not. I don't know. But yeah, there you have it. 3 new types of stone that have been added in. And you might be wondering what these are. These are polished versions of those stones. So you've got polished granite, polished diorite, and polished andesite. You can actually craft these pieces of stone as well. So you can craft, you get 2 diorite if you put 2 nether quartz and 2 cobblestone in there. I don't know why you'd waste nether quartz for some diorite. If you put diorite and nether quartz in there, you get granite. If you get 2 andesite from a cobblestone and diorite. And to make the polished blocks, you simply put 4 of the original in your crafting table like that, and it'll give you 4 of the polished version. So there you have the new types of stone. Now here, I'm going to showcase some of the new commands. This update actually adds quite a few commands. So what I'm going to do here is just showcase pretty much all of them. A couple of them, like scoreboard commands, I'm not going to be showcasing those because I find them to be overly complex and I don't really care to showcase those. They just are more of the technical stuff. I prefer to have like actual visual stuff that you can see, and so we're going to be doing that. We have a new target selector, which is @E, which means entity. So you can now target entities. Finally, you can do stuff to entities. Like you can teleport entities, you can do all that. You can do anything you can do with commands to players or anything to entities now. So if I press this button, it'll teleport my horse. I didn't mean to do that. I forgot. I was planning on riding the horse, because if you're actually riding the horse, it's pretty neat. You'll actually teleport with them. Do you like me? Do you like me, horsey? Love me. Love me. There we go. So here we go. Come here. Come here. I'm going to press this button. You're going to be alright. Woo! Just teleport high up in the sky on your horsey. And then jump off of it and abandon it before it dies. So, I think either way you're safe. And if we summon... I think it's horse? No? What are you? Entity horse. That's right. We're going to summon a whole bunch of horses. Let's say 100. Teleport them all. Why does it have a single donkey? Oh well. Okay, well anyways, you can target certain mobs as well with /kill, which is excellent because this also means now you can target specific players with /kill as well. So you can do kill this player, but not this player. So you can be evil with that now. So here's the list of new commands. We've got block data, clone, execute, entity data, fill a particle, replace item, stats, test for blocks, title, trigger, and world border. So I've got a whole area set up for all these commands here. All these new commands, all these command blocks. They're everywhere. They're invading. Here we've got the clone. We've got 3 different things we can use for clones. 3 different types, I guess. We've got replace, masked, and filtered. So see these redstone blocks here? This area is the area being cloned. So if I press this button, this will replace, including air, I believe, that thing up there. Yeah. And fill, this is a new command as well. You can fill whole areas with certain blocks. It's like set block, except to a larger extent. You can just fill huge areas instead of just a single block. So masked, I believe, is specific to... it copies everything but air. Yeah, so there you see there's only the redstone block in the middle there. And filtered, you can use it for specific blocks. So I have it to copy only the air and not the emeralds. So there you have the little air in the middle. You can just mess around however you want with those. It's really neat. Here we also have some more /fill. You can set it up so that you can replace different blocks. So what I have is this is replacing all obsidian with gold, or I think it's all gold with obsidian. Yeah, so as you saw, that structure had a whole bunch of gold in it, but now it's all obsidian. And here, all the obsidian turned into diamonds! So that's really neat, that you can replace a specific type of block. Here we also have a couple of other types of fill. We have outline and hollow. So as you can see, we've got an emerald block thing here. So outline will only fill the outline with a specific block, and hollow will fill the outline with a specific block, but also fill the inside with air. So as you can see, there's still emeralds in there. And let's just make this one side, or some of it, emeralds anyways, because I don't feel like doing the entire thing again. If I do this, same appearance on the outside, but it is now hollow. So these commands really give some more customizability-ness to your filling and replacing blocks and all that. It's really quite neat. Next over here we've got /particle, which is really neat. What it allows you to do is summon. It's pretty much summoning, but except with entities, it's particles. So here I've got a whole bunch of examples. This is explode. This is magic crit, it's called. They've got all these names. So as you can see, when I press the button, it'll actually summon like that type of particle. There's a heart. And so how you do this is /particle heart. You put the location of it, and then I don't know what these are, but this is the speed it's going at, I think, and this is how many you're playing in that same area. So how many, it can alter the size, I think. I don't know for sure, but the speed and however many that does, I don't know. But yeah. Next we have replace item, which I find is awesome. It is a really neat command. So here we go. We've got surrounding 5 emeralds with some diamonds here. So you can actually replace items with containers. So I'm going to, when I press this button, these 5 emeralds will be replaced with 3 nether stars. So you don't even need to open the chest, and the items are replaced. I think that is very cool. You can also replace stuff from like players as well. So you can select a certain area in their inventory, and when you click this, here it gives me 64 pumpkin pie, specifically in this last slot here. No matter what is in there, it will replace it with 64 pumpkin pie. So that is pretty cool. You can also do it with mobs. So you can replace their armor slots or their weapon slots, for example, with like zombie pigmen and skeletons. So here I have a skeleton with fire resistance, and if I click on this, it will make its weapon a potato. It has a potato that it can eat as a weapon. And here, if I press this, it'll change it into a daisy. So you can change mobs' weaponry. That is pretty sweet. I really like that customizability-ness that it adds. So you can have an army of skeletons bringing you daisies. That's really neat. Next here we have World Border. I don't have much set up for it because here it just has like a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with it. I'm not actually going to do it. I might do a couple of commands here because I don't understand some of this stuff. But the stuff you can do are, let's click that again. World Border Add, World Border Center, World Border Damage Amount, World Border Damage Buffer, World Border Get, World Border Set, World Border Warning Distance, and World Border Warning Time. So what you can do is like you're able to make world borders shrink or grow and stuff. You can set where the world border is. You can set how much damage, depending on the amount of blocks you're away from it. That type of stuff. So I think World Border Get, I know, tells you the current world border size. So this is 60 million blocks wide. And I think World Border... If I put World Border Center... Center, I'm Canadian, so I spell it R-E. If I put it... Oh no, my tilde key is getting a little stuck. Oh, it's got to be X and Z. Whatever. So you can set like where the center of the world border is. And you can also... I think world border set 100? No? Oh, world set. Whoops. There we go. So you can set it to a specific amount of how wide you want it to be. It'll stretch up infinitely, but we'll have it to be a certain length. So as you can see, the world border, I guess, is all the way over here, and it has this really neat texture that signifies when you've reached the world border. You can't get out of it again once you're in it. But if we just set it back to 60 million, it will go back to normal, and that is all very well and good. So that's just a neat little bit of more customizability-ness that you can do. Next, moving on, we've got some new NBT tags. If you don't know what an NBT tag is, it's pretty much an extra little thing that allows whatever like you're holding or whatever to have special abilities, I guess. That's the best way I can describe it. So a list of new NBT tags are Block Entity Tag, Can Destroy, Can Place On, Command Stats, Generation, Hide Flags, Lock, No AI, Pickup Delay, Reward EXP, Selected Items, Show Particles, and Silent. So I'm going to showcase 4 here. I have got Can Destroy, Pickup Delay, Silent, and Selected Item. So Can Destroy is pretty much when you have Can Destroy on whatever item you want. This is mainly for Adventure mode, because when you're in Adventure, you cannot actually break anything at all. However, with Can Destroy, it tells you which blocks you can break with it. So with this iron pickaxe, I cannot break anything but emerald blocks and gold ore. So as you can see, we've got the little cracks there, the gold ore and emerald blocks, but with the coal, stone, diamond ore, everything else, nothing, nada, zilch. So that's a neat little thing for Adventure mode. Here we've got Pickup Delay, which you can set it to how long you have to stand there before the item can be picked up. So you can actually set it high enough so that you cannot actually pick up the item at all. It's a troll! So we've got the diamond sword here that will never be able to be picked up. Next we've got Silent, which is neat. Which pretty much when you add a mob with Silent, it won't make any noise. Oh shoot, well. It just will sit there, being silent, taking your punishments and cruel death threats without a sound. So if you don't want, if you want a creeper that'll blow up without you even knowing. It'll have the explosion sound alright, but it won't have its little hiss. Surprise, creeper! Next here we also have selected items. So this can't select, it can detect, if you have a specific item in one of these slots of your inventory. So here, if I click this, nothing will happen because I don't have it there, but I think if I have a stone button in my first slot, and specifically a stone button, oh yeah, I think I have to be holding it. Yeah, if you're holding a stone button and it's in your first slot, then there, it'll have that. But it won't work with anything else. Not at all. I don't even think it would work with a wooden button. No, it will not. Just specifically stone buttons. So that adds for some more customizability with detecting stuff. So that's neat. Over here we have new game rules. So here are some new game rules: log admin commands, random tick speed, reduce debug info, send command feedback, and show death messages. Most of these I don't really know what they do except for show death messages. So if you turn that off, when people die, you won't be able to see it. Other than that, I don't really know what any of those things do. Next, let's move over here. I think we have... Okay, so here's something called block data and entity data, which are pretty much able to edit the data and like MPT stuff of a block or a mob. So here, we actually have a lock. So you can lock the chest. Unfortunately, if the chest is locked, it doesn't prevent players from being able to destroy it. But once it's locked, you can't get into it unless you have the lock, and then in the little quotations here, you put a key name. So if you have an item that is called pie, you can open it. Other than that, you cannot open it. So that's really neat. Over here we've got, you can also set, oh right, I gotta spawn the spider. You can also set mobs to have no AI whatsoever, so they're completely stupid, they've lost a brain. The spider won't be able to move around. When I have no AI, they won't be able to move, which means that they also don't fall from gravity. So they're just sort of retardedly standing there until you kill them. They can't do anything, they won't attack you. So if you just sort of want mob statues, put them to silent, and maybe make them invincible or something, and then boom, you've got your own mob statues, just like that. Next here, what is this? Ah, yes. So this, oops, if I add a pig into the world, or multiple pigs, you can also set their names. So if we have pigs here, all these pigs will be renamed Alien Pig Party Partner. Which, if you don't know what that's pretty much from a series me and Prince Bosco and Dr. Who do, Village Idiots, from the first ever episode. But, yeah, so, really neat. You can name mobs, rename them, whatever you want, with commands. And you can set it within a certain radius as well. All that stuff, all that fancy jazz. Here we have /title, which you saw earlier when I stepped on that pressure plate for commands. So when I click this, it says pie landness. I like pie a lot. And I don't know how, too much about this. I know the basics, which you just saw. Pretty much just allows a big title and a subtitle underneath to appear on your screen. Now, there are ways to, color it and do all that fancy stuff. I don't know how to do that. But once again, you can look on it in more detail on the internet somewhere. I'm sure someone has a tutorial on how to do all that stuff. Here we also have test for blocks, which is similar to test for block, except it works with multiple areas instead of just a single block. So this here, tests if the areas are exactly the same. So these two areas are. However, if I have one block out of place, nope. But if they're the same, it works. So you can sort of make customizable lock type things with this. Having, you gotta put the right blocks there. And it matters what type of block it is, too. It doesn't just test if, you've got a block there. It tests the type of block as well. So they've got to be the exact same block in the exact same place. So that is really neat. Here we have a command called execute. I believe this is the last command I'm showcasing in this area here. So I believe, let's spawn a creeper here. Creeper 2. So execute allows you to like use commands relative to like entities and stuff. So this is spawning one of the particle effects relative to all creepers in the world. Well, all creepers within a certain area, I think. Might be in the world. I don't know. But as you can see, when I click that, that particle effect comes to these guys. And here we can detect if there is if I'm standing on sand or not. So you're able to detect like whether someone's standing on something. So if I'm on sand, it'll teleport me into the air. However, if I'm not on sand, it will do nothing. It doesn't matter where I am. As long as I'm on sand, it'll teleport me. But if I'm not, well, I ain't getting teleported nowhere. Alrighty, so we're back in this area here. Let's continue on. Now we have some other... Oh, okay. So then, okay. I added that twice. Sorry then. But here, we have a new game mode, which is called Spectator. So when you're in Spectator mode, you're just like a spectator. You cannot actually land on the ground. You actually get no clip to be able to go through all the blocks. You're not able to interact with anything. You can check what's inside, but you can't do anything with the inventories. When you've got a player or a mob, you can click on them, and then you'll be able to see what they see. So it's really quite neat. They can't interact with you. They can't see you. You can see them, obviously, and only other spectators can see spectators. But if we summon, let's say, Creeper, so if you got to punch them, and so I have 3 mobs I want to show you: Creeper, Spider, and Enderman, because they have special views. All other mobs and players, they look normal, but this is the Creeper view. So if you're spectating a Creeper, this is what you'll see. So that's like how the Creeper sees. Just click Shift to get out. Summon Spider, punch the Spider. I really love the Spider's view of it, like all the different little stuff. It's really neat. I think it's really, really cool. Thank you, Mojang, for adding that. It looks so awesome. And here we have the Enderman. So he has a weird inverted view, and now he's teleported somewhere, and I can barely see what it is. Enderman, where did you go? Oh, you went inside a cave. I can't really see what's going on here, but oh, stop teleporting. I want to see above ground. So there you have it. Here's the above ground, or not above ground stuff. Sorry. There's spectator game mode. Oh, one thing I also forgot to mention in the options is you can actually lock the difficulty per world, so that you can't like actually change the difficulty to get out of tough situations. It's really neat, especially for custom maps, so that you don't accidentally go on to like some mob game, hostile mob game on peaceful, and it ruins everything, that type of stuff. It's really quite neat. And also so that you don't chicken out. However, / difficulty still can change the difficulty. So here we have something new called Ocean Monuments, and I just realized I have some missing items here. The missing items are these things. They're prismarine shards and prismarine crystals, which make up these new blocks. We've got sea lanterns, dark prismarine, and prismarine bricks. So you can actually craft these. You craft the dark prismarine by surrounding an ink sac with prismarine shards. You get the sea lantern from putting prismarine crystals in like a cross type shape and putting prismarine shards in the corners. You get prismarine from putting 4 prismarine shards in there, and prismarine bricks from 9 prismarine. I'm saying prismarine so much it's starting to sound really weird, and I'm twisting it as I say it. So here, if I step in here, it'll bring us to the new Ocean Monument. I'm just going to let it load for a second. So the Ocean Monument, it allows you, not allows you, what am I saying? It's this cool little underwater thing. It's like an underwater desert temple, except way larger, and you don't benefit as much from it. All there are is there's 9 gold blocks in the center, and there's all these really neat underwater blocks. But I'd say the only real advantage to coming here is you can actually get sponge. So here's a legit way to get sponge spider. We'll also showcase off the new mobs in a minute. But here we have a new enchantment called Depth Strider, which allows you to more easily travel underwater. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to actually go into Peaceful because these guys are annoying as crap. So as you can see, I can actually walk around a bit easier while underwater, almost like normal, with Depth Strider 3, which is the maximum you can get. Of course, I still fall like normal, I still swim like normal. But... So here it is, just random place. And those guardians, those weird pufferfish type things shooting lasers for some reason, I don't even know. This is where they are based. And they'll actually kill squids. And then there's also the, some huge, gigantic, fat anus guardian that protects the treasure somewhere in here. So as I said, there are like 9 gold blocks in here. In the center, somewhere. And the only advantage to come here is you get sponge, these cool underwater blocks, and maybe some 9 gold blocks if you can find them. I don't really think it's too worth it. I mean, it looks cool, that's for sure, but the guardians are way too annoying to want to do anything. So, I don't know. Anyhow, we're back here. So let's showcase off some of these new mobs. So, along with the guardians, we've also got rabbits and endermites. So here's the guardians. They'll flop around. Oh, right, it's peaceful. They're ugly little things. And as I said, they'll shoot lasers at otherwise. They're hostile. And, whoa, like I jumped high. They'll like drown when they're in water, they'll flop around. And when you kill them, they'll drop like raw fish and these prismarine crystals and shards, which you can just as easily get from fishing and actually just going to the water temple in Peaceful. And here, this is the like giant anus guardian dude. This guy is worth killing because it gives you sponge, which there's no other way to get sponge in survival. So now we can finally get sponge in survival. Now this doesn't drop any normal sponge. This drops wet sponge. Wet sponge, you ask? Yes. Sponge now has a use. So wet sponge is what happens when you put a sponge in the water. It'll drain the area around it and it'll become a wet sponge. And once you have a wet sponge, you can actually put it in a furnace, just plop it in there, and it'll dry out into a normal sponge. So, sponges, they finally have a use now. You can finally get them in survival. Thank you, Mojang. Now, we have some new items / mob drops in here as well, which I'm very thankful for. Sheep. They finally drop mutton. This is one reason I love this update. Mutton. They finally drop it. I'm so happy. Now, the other mobs, rabbit and endermites. The endermite doesn't drop anything special, but the rabbit, it has this brand new, has a whole bunch of brand new drops that are really cool. So, we've got some raw rabbit that can be cooked into cooked rabbit. We have rabbit hide, and we've got rabbit's foot. The rabbit hide, if you put 4 on a crafting table, it'll give you leather. If you you can use a rabbit's foot in a brewing stand. You can brew a rabbit's foot, and you actually get Potion of Leaping Jump Boost, now officially in Minecraft, without using like commands and stuff. You've got an actual potion for it now, which is really nice. Thank you, Mojang, and here's our normal sponge. And so, also one final thing is rabbit stew. You can make rabbit stew, which is actually the best food in the game in terms of like restoring hunger. So you put a cooked rabbit, baked potato, carrot, and a mushroom. It doesn't matter which type of mushroom, brown or red, plus a bowl, and you get rabbit stew, which is pretty sweet, but it looks really weird. So, you're probably wondering, if you haven't seen what the rabbit is before or tested with this yourself, what the frig does a rabbit look like? We've got many types of rabbits. So many rabbits. Too many rabbits. They all hop around really weirdly. I wonder. Are you called rabbits? You are called rabbits in the weird command thing that's usually different. Okay. Let me just get rid of all these items here. I would normally just do kill all and exclude players, because that's something you can do. If you can exclude certain things by doing in brackets type exclamation mark something, and it'll exclude that type from the command. But the problem is, it does it to all entities, so that includes all these like minecarts and chests, it includes item frames, all that stuff. So, here's the Endermite as well. These will occasionally spawn with an Enderman, or when an Enderman teleports, or when you use an Ender Pearl. So these little ugly pieces of crap that look like horrid, weird slugs, fat slugs. They're purple. They have a weird jiggly animation. It's like they are fat. And they'll despawn after 2 minutes unless they're named. They are a bit hostile. They have the same sounds as silverfish. Don't go behind the banners, you dinner. And they're easy to kill. They don't really drop anything. They're just a neat little addition to the consequences of teleportation. So they're just an interesting new addition. So there you have it. 3 new mobs, some new items, new potion, all that. Here, excuse me. Here we have a new type of dirt called coarse dirt, and the purpose of coarse dirt is to have a type of dirt that grass will not grow on. So if you want to have just plain dirt in an area for some reason, I don't know why, if you don't want grass growing on it, get some coarse dirt. And coarse dirt can actually be crafted with 2 dirt and 2 gravel, and you get 4 coarse dirt. But if you don't want to craft it, you can just go find it in like a, I believe you can find it in the redwood forest. I don't know the official name for that biome. I call it redwood forests. And you can also find it in savannas, I believe. And if you hoe it, that's why I have the hoe here, it actually just turns into normal dirt. So grass can grow on it again. Here, last update we got red sand. Now we get red sandstone, which is more of an orangey color, but who cares. So all of these have the exact same textures except for the chiseled red sandstone, which has like a wither thing instead of like the creeper thing that the original sandstone has. So you can craft these. You get 6 redstone slabs from putting 3 red sandstone there. You get a normal red sandstone from red sand. Like all these crafting recipes are the same as before, just with the red sandstone. So you got 4 red sandstone and you get smooth red sandstone. Oh, sorry, it just cut out a bit there. But as I was saying, all of these crafting recipes here are exactly the same, but with red sandstone. Now, we're going to move on over here. We have a slight change with beacons. So, they'll still act perfectly normal. But, if you add stained glass on top, the beacon light will change to whatever color the stained glass is. So that is really neat if you want to have like a rave party with all these random flashing lights of different colors. Then you can go ahead and have that. And actually, if you place different colors on top of each other, the beam will actually mix the colors together. So as you can see, it's a different color than it was before. So every time I smash it, it changes color. And also the white stained glass, it stays exactly the same. But yeah, that's just a neat little extra feature for the beacons. Next over here, we finally have something that I bet a lot of us have been waiting for a while. I know I have. Different colored, the different fences and doors for the different types of wood. Now, I don't know what this random rabbit hide's doing here, but so there's a new crafting recipe for fences now. You've got 2 planks and then 4 planks and then 2 sticks. I'm getting all my numbers mixed up, but the planks are going to be whichever type of wood that you want them to be. So if you wanted spruce, wooden fence or gate, then you'd put spruce wood here and not oak wood. Same goes with the doors, except the crafting recipe is not changed. The crafting recipe stays exactly the same. It's just the type of wood you use. And now all the wood has to be the same color. So no, I'm going to use half birch and half oak. Now, yeah, but all of these have different designs too, which is really neat. So if you want a different design door, you can go ahead and do that. And actually, when I see this one, if you took out the handle, this sort of looks like a chocolate bar. I'm just going to put that out there. We also have a new trapdoor, which is an iron trapdoor, which is crafted like so. It's not crafted with 6 iron ingots sideways for some reason. It's just crafted with 4. and that's how you get the iron trapdoor, which can only be activated via redstone. It's just like the iron door, but it's trapdoor form, and the original trapdoor recipe, I believe, stays the same. Now here, you might be wondering, what are these? These are banners, and you can craft them with 60 of whatever type of wool you want and a stick, and you can use wool and different items to be able to get these different designs here, or not wool, dyes. So there are a whole bunch of different dyes and like different patterns that you can do. There are so many possibilities. I just have a few of them here. You can just have plain colored banners. Actually, if you look, they wave slightly. So you can either place them on walls or you can place them on the ground here, and they're 2 blocks tall. So I'm not going to really go over how you can like make all these different designs and stuff. That's all on the Minecraft wiki. So if you want to figure out how to do all this really neat stuff, you can go onto the Minecraft wiki. It has a whole bunch of different designs you can do with like your dyes and stuff, and you can look that up there. Here we have armor stands now, which can be crafted via 3 sticks on top, 3 sticks down here like this, and a stone slab, and you get 1 armor stand. And so you simply click with what you want, and you can also put like heads and stuff on it. And now actually different heads, they actually show up how the head is in your inventory. So you simply click on it, and so that'll go on. So anything that you can put in your armor slots will be able to go in the armor stands here. And there's a lot of customization stuff you can do with commands and stuff. I'm not going to go over that. This is just the basics of using like an armor stand as an actual armor stand. Also, when you have heads on your actual head, they are slightly bigger now, so now they look sort of weird, just so that they cover up your second layer of skin if you have one, like the hat, so that it doesn't poke through, so you don't have like, if you have a mustache on your skin, you don't have a creeper head with a mustache. Although, to be honest, that's pretty funny. So here, you're like, why are these invisible? Why can't you go through them? These are border blocks. So, if you don't want someone going through an area, just place them here. They're invisible blocks that you cannot get through, and the only way to break them is in creative. So they're like bedrock, but invisible. So you can obviously like place stuff on them and all that. So it's really very cool. And yeah, so that's pretty much the border. And to make it easier while building with them, this isn't in the creative inventory. You have to do /give Minecraft barrier. But to make it easier for building, they've got this little blockage sign here. If you're holding a barrier in your hand, I believe only in creative. Let me just test. But if you're holding a barrier in your hand, if you're in creative as well, then you'll be able to see where the other barriers are, so you can like build on them and stuff. So that's sort of neat. But yeah, so there you have the barrier. Just a quick little thing. Nice addition for like custom maps and such. Right now over here, you have some changes to enchantments. So let me just grab this stuff here. Now, when you have an enchantment, you still get like your basic enchantments here. But so as you can see, it tells you one enchantment that you will get with when you click on it. It'll give you one enchantment, but there's a possibility you could get others. Also, on the side here, this number here on the right side shows how much XP you need to have in your inventory to be able to get this enchantment. This number on the side also shows how many enchantment levels that you have to pay for it, and also for some reason you need lapis lazuli. So lapis is not actually has a use, and that's for enchanting. So if the number on the left side here tells how many XP you'll have to spend and how much lapis you need to spend as well. So just click on it, and there you go. Oh, that actually ended up being a really good sword. So that's how enchanting works now. It's a bit different, but I mean, at least it gives something to do with lapis. That's one advantage I can see in it, and you don't spend as much enchanting. You just have to have that much XP. So that's interesting. So here, we've got some changes with villagers. There's not much, except, oh wow. When you click on them, it shows their profession up top. So this guy's a weaponsmith. This guy's a librarian. This guy's a librarian. Screw you, I don't need 2 librarians for an example. Oh, come on. What? What you doing? Okay, thank goodness. Now I've got a cleric. Anywho, so they'll start off with like 2 or 3 trades or something. These trades aren't doing very well. Here we go. And so when you trade with them, it'll open up like 1 or 2 more trades, and it'll also open up more like older trades and stuff. So as you saw, that opened up 2 trades. So as you do that, and you also get XP from trading with villagers now. So that's neat. So yeah, just a couple of changes to villagers and trading and stuff. Thank you for your example. You will now die. Now you can summon lightning. So if I press this button, lightning will come down on that tree. Over and over again. Oops. You can just summon lightning. It's pretty sweet. It seems to have the same exact animation every time though. But, you know, you can now summon lightning, so that's cool. Also, you can use TP to rotate you around. So if you want someone to TP just and also face the other direction, then you can do that with rotation stuff as well. And if I could get the lever, there we go. I'll stop rotating. Another thing with TPing is it is now smoother. So if I press this button, what? How'd the door close? I'm in a different place! Because TPing is now really, really smooth. So if you're like running, it'll keep your movement as well. So that is really neat. I love that. Just keeps your movement really quite smooth. And this TPing stuff is really an improvement from the jerky old, really noticeable TPingness. So I really like that. I'm a big fan of that. And there goes that tree. Actually, I believe this is the last thing in the showcase. Finally, after this really long showcase, I applaud you for sitting through all that. This has been like an hour because there's a lot of stuff in here. I applaud you if you did sit through this whole thing, or if you just skipped to the end, I'll applaud you too. Anyways, so here I have a couple of examples to do. So here, we have a creeper. What? Why can you not summon the lightning? Oh yeah, I have to give a location. That's right. That's why. Okay. What? What? Why you no work? Oh, lightning bolts. There we go. That's why. No wonder. So here we have a creeper. Here we have a charged creeper. Go out fire. Oh shoot! I did not mean to break that bedrock. Oh. Why you do this? Okay, creeper, move out of the way. Don't die this time. I swear, if you die... Okay, good. So I'm going to set my spawn point to here so I don't go far. Hope it doesn't blow up this chest, but here we go. We got a couple of other mobs. No, you're burning! Time to night. Time to don't be burning, you dinners. Okay, so what's really neat is now, hopefully the creeper won't... Oh no, the other creeper blew up first. Great. Okay, well pretty much what I'm trying to demonstrate is that charged creepers, if they explode and they happen to kill another mob... Oh no, not yet. Oh, come on. If charged creepers explode and happen to kill another mob in not radiusness of their explosion, then they will actually drop their heads. So here's a legit way in survival. There we go. To get those mob heads. If the creeper doesn't blow them up. Let's see. Anything? No? Well, as you can see, it's very difficult, but yeah, these mobs can now drop their heads if blown up by a charged creeper. But that's the only way, so it's a bit of a challenge. Anyways, I have these other mobs in here as well, and a random spawner, because Mojang finally did something I've been waiting for so long. When I started playing Minecraft, like over a year and a half ago, no, over 2 years ago now, 2.5 years, I could figure out how to get spawners, but I was like, I want other spawners without having to use third-party programs. Now you can do that. Simply left-click or right-click on this spawner. You can give yourself a pig spawner. Left-click on the spawner with a spawn egg, and that spawner will turn into whichever freaking mob you want. As long as you have the spawn egg, the spawner can become that mob. So I'm really happy for that. Thank you so much, Mojang. You don't know how long I've been waiting for that. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that is about it for my 1.8 Minecraft update overview. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, just rate it whatever you want. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, Mergaman 4 over and out. Once again, thank you for watching the whole video. I applaud you. It's been like an hour or something. And, yeah. So, Mergaman 4 over and out. I will see you guys later.